Hello, Squirrel Tribe. So listen, yesterday we talked about the Venezuelan gangs that were taking over some of the complexes in Aurora, Colorado. And I said it's going to be happening more and more across the country. And sure enough, overnight, we have new 911 calls in the city of Chicago. I want you guys to hear exactly what has happened here. You guys ready? Listen.
Unit 3, I'm citywide person with a gun, 6124 South King Drive, color sub, 32 Venezuelans are trespassing the building, showing guns in the courtyard, and they have motorcycles in the courtyard as well. All stairwells are filled. Nothing further is unclear.
There's more. Just wait. Wait for it.
Hey, I'm sorry. You headed over to the shop better to the 6124 and King for the migrants?
On King Drive.
Alright, 10-4. There's another available unit around at 310. We had multiple calls. First with the gun, 6124 South King. Also came over to disturbance large gathering. Could be 32 Venezuelans trespassing in the building property, showing guns in the courtyard. They have motorcycles in the courtway, all stairwells filled. And nothing further.
Now, here's the problem. We're going to hear this more and more and more often throughout our country right now as our border is fully unprotected by the Biden-Harris administration, or as the news is now calling it, the Harris-Biden administration. They're putting Kamala Harris at the forefront of this administration right now because Biden has been on vacation for the last 17 days at least, hanging out on Rehoboth Beach and doing absolutely nothing for the American people whatsoever. You're going to hear this more and more. So we have Aurora, Colorado, we have Chicago, and Chicago, unfortunately, is not where we're stopping at today when it comes to violent migrant takeover. 75% of recent arrests in Midtown Manhattan for assault, burglaries, and domestic violence are illegal aliens. And again, the same gang that we were talking about from Venezuela, which I can't pronounce it at all, Tren de Aragua, I butcher that every single time. They are taking over our cities. They are being let in through our border, no questions asked, and they are migrating to our cities and taking over, and they are harming citizens and other people. They're probably harming other illegal immigrants too at the same time. It's not just citizens who are being attacked, but you can step back and look and see everything that's happening in our country right now. And it's not a good look for the United States of America. We are quickly turning into a shithole, thanks to the current administration that is allowing it, that is applauding it, that is rooting for it, and that wants it to continue on. It's absolutely crazy to me that this is where we are. I mean, look at the difference in the last 4 years of where we started with the Harris-Biden administration versus where we are now. And you cannot sit there and say that we are in a safer place. You can't sit there and say that our economy is in a better place. You can't sit there and say that our housing market is in a better place. Our education system's in a better place. Like literally nothing is better at the end of these 4 years than it was at the beginning. And that says a lot, especially because again, remember, we have in, I believe, 63 days, an election coming up on November 5th. Do we elect to continue on this path, which will then, just continue to degrade the United States of America? Or do we elect somebody different to try to rein this shit in and turn this ship around in the direction it should be going? That's up to y'all, obviously. It's up to whoever goes out and votes and how you decide to vote. But I think you need to know all the things that are going on before you make that decision, right? Now, I want to remind you who is behind everything that we see right now. And again, this is Kamala Harris. She spoke in Detroit yesterday and Pittsburgh a few hours after that. Same speech, because that's what she does. She gives the same speech everywhere she goes. There is no changing because it's a teleprompter and it's easier for her if she's just parroting the same things over and over and over again. But what's interesting is depending on where she's at will depend on her accent. She is a chameleon, as a lot of people call her, and depending on where she goes will determine what she sounds like. If she's in the whitest neighborhood humanly possible, she's going to sound as white as humanly possible. If she's in Atlanta or Detroit or somewhere else, she's going to give herself a black accent, which is just incredible to me. I haven't heard her go full Indian yet. I don't know why she hasn't done that. I mean, we're pandering to everything else. You might as well, right? Anyway, so I want you to hear the difference here between the two places that she has been. If I can get this to pause and go backwards. It's only 19 seconds on this first one, but it's enough. This is the one in, I believe this is Detroit. Let's see.
You better thank a union member for sick leave. You better thank a union member for paid leave. You better thank a union member for vacation time.
You hear the accent, right?
Because what we know.
All right, so there's that one. All right, that's in Detroit. Now let's move over to Pittsburgh, I'm sorry. And let's hear what she sounds like there. It's going to be a completely different accent.
Thank unions for sick leave. Thank unions for paid family leave. Thank unions for your vacation time.
Why? But why? Why are we totally different depending on who we're talking to? Why does her accent change? Why does her personality change? The way she moves her hands, the way she moves her body. Why does it change depending on who she's talking to? There is nothing legitimate about this woman. There is nothing sincere about this woman, and she's a pandering piece of crap, my personal opinion. Of course, you do not have to agree. I am a huge non-fan of Kamala Harris. I will continue to be a huge non-fan of Kamala Harris, and this just gives another reason for me to be a huge non-fan of Kamala Harris. This does not make me take away my like for the Eagles, all right? But the Eagles themselves, the Eagles, not the band, but the football team, the NFL team, have said Kamala Harris is putting up counterfeit political ads to trick Eagles fans into thinking the team has endorsed her. All Democrats know how to do is cheat. Now, this is a Laura Loomer post, but I want you to see here that the Philadelphia Eagles themselves posted it. You guys can see that on the screen right there. They say, "We are aware counterfeit political ads are being circulated and are working with our advertising partner to have them removed." Now, does that automatically mean they are in support of Trump? No. What it means is they probably don't want to back anything political because it could hurt them with fans depending on which way they want to go. I don't think that sports teams need to be backing political people. I don't think that restaurants and stores need to be picking a side and all this other stuff. That's me. I will be very honest and blunt and blatant on who I back, and it's going to be Trump versus Kamala Harris, because I'm not some big entity that has millions of dollars behind it and money coming in and out, you know, like these restaurants and these businesses and these NFL teams do. So for the Eagles, I can understand. They're like, no, Kamala Harris, we did not endorse you. We did not say we support you. Get your janky looking head off of our truck or bus stops. This is uncalled for. This is not okay. And the fact that they have it up there is a little crazy to me. But we already know that the Kamala campaign lies through their friggin' teeth on a daily. Tim Walz being the worst out of all of them, in my opinion. But let's do one more thing here. I want to show you. So we just talked about yesterday the Venezuelan gangs in Aurora, Colorado. We just listened to the Venezuelan phone call about Venezuelans taking over a complex in Chicago. And now let's remember that New York is also, we just talked about 75% of arrests are illegal immigrants. New York has always been a melting pot, right? That's what New York is all about. New York City is a melting pot. It's always been that way. Statue of Liberty, bring us, you're tired, you're hungry, you're poor. I believe that's how it goes. I'm pretty sure it also means legally, not just illegally through the borders anyway. It's always been a fully diverse area. I've been to New York City. I've been to New York City twice. My husband is from New York. We took our daughter there when she was 7. Absolutely beautiful. Loved it. Now she's turning 15 this week. So it's been a minute since we were in New York. And the way it has changed, I don't see us going back anytime soon. Do we want to? Yes. There's actually really nice people in New York. Like, the people of New York are great. And New York has gorgeous, beautiful things to go look at. Amazing buildings and structures. And, you know, Central Park is really, really pretty, and all different kinds of things. Unfortunately, the absolute chaos that is now New York City, never going to go unless they figure out how to clean it up, unless Eric Adams and Kathy Hochul, whatever the hell her name is, pull their heads out of their butts and figure out how to keep New York City safe. Not going back. This is one day after Hamas executed an American hostage in captivity along with 5 other people. This is what New York City looks like when thousands show support for Hamas. I need you guys to see this. I don't know that is there volume? There's some volume. I don't know if this volume is going to be okay or not, but I want you to see what's going on in New York City right now. I can't really show the whole thing because YouTube is real finicky with showing stuff like this. They don't want it known and shared and spread that this is what is going on in our cities. But this is New York City. If this will work, y'all know how this works. Sometimes this iPad decides when it wants to work or not. This is what was going on literally the day after the executions, the Hamas executions, you have, this looks like something out of a movie. That's all I can think to myself. I'm pretty sure this is the area where they filmed a lot of, what's the name? The Will Smith movie with the dog and the zombies, and it was like the worst CGI I've ever seen in my entire life. I can't think of the name right now to save my life, but this is that area where he was in the car, I believe. I'm not 100% positive, but I believe, yes. So this is what it looks like in New York City right now. How is this okay? I believe in, the right to have a peaceful protest, but the people protesting and what they're protesting, especially given what just happened, this is absolutely crazy to me. Setting off smoke bombs and doing all this stuff, to me, isn't considered peaceful. That might just be me, but I don't consider what this is to be peaceful. This looks chaotic. This looks hectic. This looks aggressive. This looks like someplace that I would be scared to even be anywhere near. And this is New York City right now. And I don't know how much more of stuff like this our country is going to be able to take with everything that's going on across. Look, that does not look peaceful to me. That's just me. I can't show you any more of it, even though it's not fighting. It's not any of that kind of stuff. They don't like us sharing this kind of thing. Our country no longer looks like what I remember growing up, right? Yes, things change. Obviously, over time, things change. But you would think it would change for the better. And unfortunately, it does not feel that way. It does not look that way. It does not, there's nothing great right now about our country for the citizens of our country. And that's where it sounds wrong, obviously, because it's great right now for everybody who's not a legal citizen, but it's absolutely awful for everybody who is a legal citizen. And that sounds awful no matter how you look at it. And I want people to really understand what is going on in our cities before they go out and vote on November 5th. Now, just a couple of really interesting Tim Walz facts. I want you to know, Megyn Kelly has an interview out with some of the heroes who served with Tim Walz, and they'll be exposing him. So I want to give you just a small little tidbit of what was going on here. The whole thing will be on, obviously, Megyn Kelly's channel on X, YouTube, wherever. But I want you to have just a little bit.
Come forward. It is morally indefensible. He didn't care. It was all about him.
He's a military impersonator. I don't understand how he could do it morally, or you got absolutely no integrity. The rumor went across the state that he had quit, and it was like, who the hell does that? I mean, it was just unbelievable that a CSM abandoned his troops, 500 soldiers basically. But beyond that, there's 1,000 parents out there that expect that person to lead those people into combat.
He's a habitual liar. He lies about everything. He lies about stuff that doesn't make sense. You're taking a piece of their thunder and you're trying to capture it and put it in a bottle for yourself and use that for your own benefit.
He basically said, I've got better things to do. Go pick somebody else to go on a mission. But if you sold out your guard unit and abandoned them, what are you going to do at the national level?
Fear is a reaction. Bravery is a decision.
Mm-hmm.
And Walz has made the wrong decision. He's not brave. I call him a coward because he is.
So Megyn Kelly has a whole thing coming up. And what I want you guys to get after that is we have talked about how Tim Walz is a liar. Tim Walz refuses to clarify when he said he he got deployed, number one, when he said deployed, which he was not deployed, where he said he had guns in war, which he didn't obviously have guns in war, but he also calls himself what is it? What is the name that he called himself? Hold on. I can't remember what he called himself. The 3-word that he gave himself. Oh, Command Sergeant Major, which technically he has never been a Command Sergeant Major. So this is a post. I just want to read you. It says, Walz is a liar and a fraud. He did not see combat. He did not carry guns in war. He did not serve in enduring freedom. He did not retire as a Sergeant Major. The more details that emerge indicate that Walz continued to participate in stolen valor, although he was admonished by the National Guard, confronted by former colleagues, and even reprimanded by his unit chaplain. Anyone who would diminish this needs to reevaluate their standards. The most important point of all, he didn't have to lie about anything he is lying about. His original record would have been commendable, but he has tarnished it. Now, his original record would not have given him the title of the highest ranking I don't remember how they phrased it, the highest ranking military now, or highest ranking National Guard to serve in politics in Minnesota, something along those lines. Like he has the highest level of anybody that's done it. But really he doesn't, because he was never a command sergeant major. So even that is a lie. But here's the thing. The Harris campaign continually says Walz misspoke in a comment about his military service, and that Walz misspoke in saying he served in war. Well, did Walz also misprint his challenge coins too? Because his coins have a command sergeant major on there, which again, he never was. He had to okay these and had them made and everything else. So you can't misspeak when you blatantly lie, and it's proof. You know what I mean? And again, you have a person who's running for president who chameleon changes depending on who she's talking to, and you have somebody who's supposed to be her running mate who is not trustworthy in the least. I would trust a toddler before I would trust Tim Walz. I would trust Beetlejuice before I would trust Tim Walz. I don't know who else to say, because my brain isn't braining right now. I have a massive headache today. But all I'm going to say is you have got to keep paying attention to what is going on and what is happening, especially in your cities and in your areas. Pay attention to the people that are making their way into your cities, and just always be safe. Carry something with you, no matter what it is, to keep yourself safe, because the takeover is real. And it's absolutely crazy to me that we are allowing this as a country, as a government. They are allowing this to happen. And again, they are welcoming it, and they have no plan on stopping it, which again is crazy. So just to end this, I have more for you guys later. This is a short one again because my head is killing me, but I have a little joke for you. Okay. First, let me tell you guys I love you, and I hope you have a fabulous rest of your day. But here's a little joke for you. Why don't chickens wear underwear? Because their peckers are on their face. Okay, that's all. Love y'all. Bye.